Good evening, YouTube. DutyRon back again this evening with another video. And thank you to everyone for joining and waiting in the lobby. I am going to go over the extradition hearing. I'm getting a lot of emails and questions from people about this extradition hearing. So tonight we're going to watch the hearing. It's really like 6 minutes long. We'll watch the hearing and then I'll go back over it and I will kind of give you my insight into what's going on. But tonight, if you haven't subscribed to my channel or hit the notification bell, please do both. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, all one word, DutyRon on all social, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Periscope. So thank you so much for everyone joining. Joshua H., good to see you. Thank you so much for being in here on the broadcast. I'm hoping that we have status go, a thumbs up on the video. I want to just make sure that we are live from the continuing, from the continuance of what we started earlier. And I want to just make sure that that is a go. Do I have a go on that, Josh, or is it another video, or are we continuing? Are we okay? Thank you, Melody. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Patriotic Vegan, thank you for joining. Hello, Olga. Thank you for being in here. So, Josh, I want to just make sure that we're on the same page. Let me just make sure everybody's not sitting and waiting in the other chat. This happened to me over the weekend. I want to make sure that that's not happening. Oh, no, it didn't happen. We're here. It worked. I'm just waiting for confirmation from Joshua H. to make sure that we have everything good. Are we good to go? Yes, we are. I think we are. New subscriber, says Carolyn Brenner. Thank you so much for coming in. Again, for those of you who are new, the U Police sign was made for me by Maddie Sully, one of my good friends and subscribers. Maddie boy, thank you so much for making that sign. It says U Police behind us. I served 20 plus years in the New York City Police Department, retired as a detective. And we're going to go over this extradition hearing that happened yesterday. Now, for those of you who are following this case closely, it looks like the extradition team made a stopover in Kentucky. It looks like they made a stopover in Kentucky, which makes it leads me to believe that they did not put her on an airplane. It leads me to believe, as a law enforcement professional, that they are driving her back to Colorado. So they made a layover stop in Kentucky, and she was booked in one of the local jails in Kentucky. I'm not going to give up that location, but it looks like they are halfway through into Colorado. South Carolina, they probably went up along Mississippi or whatever the route that they took, and they're stopped over in Kentucky or Kansas. Yes, Kansas. I have the tweet right here, so we'll go over that after the. We'll go over that right after this. Let's play this. Let's listen to this. This is the complete. It's 6 minutes and 48 seconds.
Staunch.
Yeah, Kansas, Kentucky, same thing.
I knew whichever way I went, I'd be wrong. But,
Kansas.
Okay. I don't know how much you know about the extradition proceeding. Do you know anything about extradition? Well, you're going to learn. This morning, you have a decision to make. You can either waive extradition, and the state of Colorado has 20 days to come get you, which, to be quite honest about it, under the facts of this particular situation, I have a feeling it'd be much shorter than that. But anyway, you have they'll have 20 days to come get you, or you can fight extradition. Fighting extradition means that, and this is a guesstimate on my part, that it would be about maybe 90 days from now, the Attorney General from the state of South Carolina would hold a extradition hearing where he has to prove two things: that you are Miss Stouch, Miss Stouch, and that you are wanted for a felony in the state of Colorado. It's not a very high bar for them to jump over, but that is the standard in a extradition hearing. So my question to you is, do you want to waive extradition, or do you want to fight extradition?
So when you said something about fighting it, I have to do what now?
Well, you don't have to do anything.
I just wanted you to know that this is a closed circuit TV. She was not actually in the court. This South Carolina authority, Myrtle Beach, is a small community. They don't do many of these. This is a big thing for them. They do them, but they don't do many of them. So she is in a correctional facility, and the judge is like Skyping. It's like a Zoom or, like a Skype kind of video meeting. So that's why it's grainy like this, because we're watching it off of one of their TVs. So just let you know.
Have to sit
So he's going to explain to her. She's going to play stupid.
Hearing comes up.
But she doesn't know anything about it.
Otherwise, the state of Colorado has, if you waive extradition, they have 20 days to come get you. I would be surprised if they weren't already in the air, but that's just me. I have no factual basis for that, but I've just...
They were here yesterday. That's who actually came.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
what you want to do, young lady? You want to waive extradition, or you want to fight it?
So there's a hearing here. What does that mean? They decide to determine what? If the hearing is here, what does that decide?
It just decides whether you go back to Colorado or not.
Well, I've still never been given the opportunity, like, since the beginning, to even call my attorney and even talk to him about any of these things.
Well, where's your attorney?
I need to call my friend Laura, who has the attorney, but I was told yesterday that someone was going to do that, but they never did.
Okay.
That's since yesterday that I called an attorney.
Well, it doesn't matter either way to me, because I'm just asking the question.
Just so you know, you don't need an attorney at an extradition hearing. You can have one, but there's nothing to fight. It's either a yes or a no. And if she was to say no, it would just be basically, if she was to say no, she wants to fight it. It would then become up to a 90-day process of her being held there. And the time that she's held there doesn't count towards her sentence at the end. In other words, when you get found guilty and then you get sentenced, if you have been in jail for, say, a year, waiting for the trial and waiting for everything, you get credit for that year. What he's about to tell her is that if you do not waive extradition, all the time you spend here is going to be wasted time. And this is a good Southern guy. This judge is basically giving it to her as straightforward as you can get. So I'll let it continue.
I don't care what the answers are. If you waive extradition, I will sign the extradition order, and they'll bring it back.
Notice
there
he's wearing
for you
a blue tie.
If you fight extradition, then they'll just have an
stand
extradition
against
hearing
child abuse
sometime in the future.
A blue tie.
The problem with fighting extradition is that the time you spend sitting waiting for the extradition hearing is always considered to be your time, not Colorado or whatever the requesting state's time is. So you don't get any credit. It's like, I won't say wasting your time, but and there are very few. This isn't legal advice, but I'll tell you,
yes.
there's very
Stephanie,
few
yes.
defenses to extradition. But it's your choice.
Oh, so you're saying it's not like a guarantee, it's just a hearing?
It's just a hearing where they have to prove you are who you are and that you're wanted for a felony. Those are the two things they have to prove in an extradition hearing. That's all. So, I mean, if you are who you are and you're wanted for a felony in Colorado, it won't do much good fighting an extradition hearing.
Oh, you're saying they have to prove that. I see what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
Yes.
So you're
Okay, what you want to do, young lady?
so Colorado.
Okay, well, I'll sign the extradition order, and they'll bring it back for you to consent to. Now, course, it wouldn't have mattered if you waived or not waived. When somebody is a fugitive from one state, I don't let them be a fugitive from two states. So it's not like if you answered either way, it would make any difference as far as
Bells,
the
I didn't
hearing
miss the
today
sticker.
goes.
I just didn't
because I'm
want
not
to
going to set
interrupt
bond.
this, but thank
Of
you
course,
so much for the super
with
sticker,
charges
super
that are
chat.
involved, I
Thank you.
couldn't set bond anyway. Okay. Anyway,
Yeah, I didn't run from you guys, so I don't want to make trouble with you guys too. I didn't even know anything. So the date on that page was had it wrong.
well, let me tell you something else, and I didn't go into all this. But now that we've decided what we're going to do in this particular hearing, because of the charges you're charged with as far as today is concerned, I don't believe I'd say too much more. Okay?
Basically told her to shut up.
All right. They'll bring the order.
She had already agreed to be extradited. So once she says that on the record, there's no like, hey, I have a change of heart. It's a do-over. Joshua, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super sticker. Bells Reborn. Thank you so much for that. It's choppy because it's their feed, not mine. The choppiness is their feed because they're doing like a Skype session. So that is, I have no control over that choppiness. That's the court's feed was choppy. Again, the judge did tell her basically to shut up. And it's cutting in and out. Again, like I said, it's because that's the feed. It's not on my end. Anyways, we all got to hear what he said, and it was pretty straightforward. He basically gave her a Southern comfort welcome. He basically said, I would just shut up if I were you, because the charges that you're being charged with, murder first degree, Satin B, basically murder first degree is punishable if all of the jurors get together and agree that every single juror on the jury, if they convict her, has to agree to death penalty. And they haven't had a death penalty in, I think, 2 decades, over 20 years in Colorado. But it is on the books. The law is on the books. So first degree murder, you can get the death penalty, but they're really not enforcing that right now. It doesn't seem like in the last 2 decades, all the crimes that were committed there, all the bad crimes, you got the Chris Watts and all the different ones, the death penalty was not used. But 25 years, life in prison, it's not 25, it's life in prison without parole.
Back to you to sign.
Hi, Katrina. Thanks for joining.
All right.
Hold on. Let me just see.
In this particular hearing, because of the charges you're charged with as far as today is concerned, I don't believe I'd say too much more. Okay?
I don't believe I'd say too much, young lady.
All right.
She basically got that.
They'll bring the order back to you to sign in a moment. All right. To send it to, okay? All righty.
Katie, I don't know. But we haven't heard anything from her. But we'll find out when she gets booked in whether she pleads guilty or not. Did anybody see her fix her hair? Did anybody see this? Watch this. Watch this here. She is fixing her hair. And look at that smirk on her face. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it a little too much.
Okay?
But it looks like she gets up and has to, just trying to fix her hair. I don't know what that was about. And then, I don't know. Whatever. All right, so now this is the court. The judge is wearing a blue tie. Anybody notice the blue tie there? Clear as day, right there on a bright blue tie for child abuse. So that was a clear message that judge was sending with that tie. And I like it. I like it a lot. So that concludes the extradition hearing. Let me put it up onto full video. So again, guys, you know, state of Colorado, and a lot of people were asking me in this afternoon's live stream, DutyRon, what's the difference between first degree and second degree murder? Well, it's pretty straightforward in all states, but there's different variations on the books for every state. So the definition for first and second degree murder in Texas and in New York will be different than Colorado. And it's not very different. It's just small little pieces that make it different. And in Colorado, they have several different murder, first, second, and I believe they have a third degree. But let me just, hold on a second. Let me just pull it up. Hold on. I just want to make sure I have it right. Okay. So under Colorado law, first degree murder is a deliberate and premeditated killing. And we have established with the stepmom, I'm not even going to give her credit, I'm not going to use her name here. The stepmom planned, it was premeditated. She deliberately wanted to kill this boy. It's a fact. And hence the first degree murder charges. If it was second degree, it would be something in regards to, here's a second degree scenario. You and I have an argument. We get into a physical confrontation, and then because of our physical confrontation, you die. That's second degree murder because we're having a fight, but I didn't intentionally want to kill you, but I did. So I'm hoping everybody kind of gets that. That's the most layman's way for me to give it to you. It's the easiest way for me to describe it to you. So it's pretty straightforward that they're charging her with first degree murder because she planned, it was premeditated, she had intent, she didn't intend to not kill him. And we will find out in the next, I would have to say, in a very short period of time, more details. And I feel strongly that when she's extradited and finally lands over in Colorado Springs, that she's going to lead them to where she discarded his body. Now, due to the fact of the lengthy time that has taken place in between the event and now, I don't have to describe to you what a dead human body does over weeks, months, the decomposition. So a recovery like this is going to affect, obviously, everybody involved. The investigators, the forensics, the EMS, the fire people. It is not going to be an easy thing. And they're not going to just blast that out. They're not going to blast it out on social media and say, oh, his body is in XYZ swamp in Colorado or in the woods in Colorado. They're going to want to get her to at least tell them in no uncertain terms, welcome to the DutyRon family. Sweet crazy, welcome to the DutyRon family. Thank you for joining in the bronze level. Welcome to the family. You are also going to be added to the Facebook members only chat. All my members, if you are part of Facebook, to all the channel members, Snow Remover, thank you for joining. A special thank you to all my channel members. Anyone that joins and is a part of the DutyRon channel membership, you're entitled to the exclusive members only Facebook group. There's only 13 people who took advantage of that. So if you are on Facebook send me a message. Follow me on Facebook first. Send me a message if you're a new channel member, and you will be added to the channel member group. And again, we have also a Discord group and a bunch of really good stuff. The crime and chat group, the police and crime group on Facebook is awesome. I got 400 people in there, and we got 500 and climbing in the YouTube video share group. So again, guys, for those of you who are confused about the charges, in the state of Colorado, first-degree murder, the most serious crime and the most heinous form of homicide in Colorado is first-degree murder. Many different types of killings are considered first-degree murder. However, all of them have in common a malicious, deliberate component that makes them eligible for capital punishment or life imprisonment. So capital punishment or life imprisonment is first-degree murder. Even if a defendant is found to have committed first-degree murder, or he or she could be found guilty of a lesser murder charges such as second-degree or voluntary. Here's the third component of murder in Colorado: the voluntary manslaughter, the heat of passion murder, an involuntary murder, accidental killing. So that's the things that I spoke about before. Glowing Ember, I would say that common sense would say yes. But if there's wildlife out and a body is there, no matter how much cold temperatures you have, there's still going to be decomposition, no matter what. And if you have a wildlife factor put into the play, now you have wildlife, unfortunately, and I hate to speak about this. Kathy from Texas, thank you for the super love. I appreciate that. With wildlife and being out in the element, you have the component of perhaps wildlife getting involved, and that's also not a good thing. Kathy from Texas, thank you again for the double. I don't know if you realized it, but you did it twice. So thank you. Thank you for that, Kathy. I greatly appreciate that. Much love and respect. So again,
thank you for the super love.
Thank you for the super love. That's a pre-recorded message.
Thank you for audio reporting.
She is in Kansas right now. It's probably a stopover. I talked about this on the live stream today. A lot of outside agencies, especially down south and some of the smaller agencies, they don't want to pay. It's a very high expense. I put prisoners on airplanes, and when we put them on commercial airlines, the airline charges an astronomical fee. So 3 detectives usually go on an extradition. So it would be myself and 2 other detectives, and then you have to also pay for the prisoner's airfare. So it's an expensive journey, a venture. So what they do is they make you take a road trip, putting the pieces together. Thank you for joining the DutyRon, Bronze. Thank you for joining the family, putting together the pieces. Welcome. So I would have to say that the state of Colorado Springs sent out their extradition team in a vehicle.
Welcome to the DutyRon family.
So they picked her up by vehicle, and they should drag her. They shouldn't make her run alongside the car. So you should drag her in the back like Chevy Chase did in Vacation to his mother-in-law or the grandmother, right? That's what they should do. Anyways, I hope that I made it pretty clear about the charges and about the Colorado statute. So will authorities try to chat her up during a transport? Abso-freaking-lutely not. Absolutely not. There's one thing, Ivy, Lynn, and everybody in the chat that law enforcement doesn't want to do here. And they don't want to jeopardize the case. And if you chatted up with her during that ride, everything she says is going to be non-admissible in court. Because you can't. I've driven from way upstate New York 3, 4, 5 hour ride with a convicted felon, convicted of, high crimes. And we don't say shit to them. We don't say a word. The only thing we could say to them is, do you want something to drink? Do you need to make a stop for the bathroom? That's about it. So, it's important. I mean, the FBI is involved in this case. You have a lot is hanging in the breeze here, and they want to bring justice for Gannon. They want to bring justice for the family, and they want to do this right. So I can tell you this, they didn't say one fucking word to her on the way back, other than, do you need something? You need to go to the bathroom? You need to stop. Do they stop from talking if she starts? She could say whatever she wants, but I don't think that, she's going to sit and blab to them, If she starts speaking about the case, they have to immediately give her Miranda warnings, and they're going to tell her not to talk. Nobody wants any type of confession inside a vehicle driving halfway across country. Red Lotus, welcome in. Snow Remover, thank you for coming. So the answers to your questions, if any good investigator would say, lady, shut the fuck up. We don't want to hear anything from you. They want to get her back into Colorado Springs in a controlled environment with the cameras rolling, that type of setup. They don't want a confession in the backseat of a car. It just doesn't go. She's not going to blab. She's being charged with capital murder, and she knows it. She's not going to talk to them. Anyways, hi, Brendy. Thank you so much for joining. Good to see Katrina Kertress. Katrina, great to see you. Sending out a lot of love to you over there in the great state of Texas. Thank you for all your coverage on this horrific case. Katrina has a lot of videos if you guys want to go check her out. Duty Blue in the building. Dylan, you gotta contact me. Where have you been? What's going on? Heavens to Betsy. I don't know what to make of you. I hope everything's all right, but great to see you, Dylan. Duty Blue in the building. I'll always refer to Dylan as Duty Blue because he's my brother from another mother. So yeah, go check out Katrina Kertress' channel. She does a lot of good stuff on this. She does do a lot of good things here on YouTube. So go check her out. Yes, so she's charged with first-degree murder, which is intent and a premeditation. She intended to kill Gannon, and it was a premeditated, thought-out crime. So that's the difference between murder first degree and murder second degree in Colorado. Colorado has a statute if you are in the heat of a passion, a moment of an argument, and then you punch someone in the face, you kill them, and that's second degree murder. So that's it in a nutshell, her ramblings, for those of you who are saying she can't keep her mouth shut, Marcy, was before she was charged with first degree murder. When you get charged with first degree murder and you're thrown in a jail cell, I don't think your chatty Cathy tendencies will continue to go. I don't think she's so chatty at this point right now. She killed him on purpose. She had intent. And listen, the district attorney, the detectives do not go out and put the charges on him. Crazy busy. We had a murder here. Oh my God. Well, I've sent you quite a few messages. I looked at the Instagram account and it looked like we weren't following each other anymore on Instagram. So I did do a little bit of checking. So listen, guys, I don't have the answers to all your questions, and you guys can ask about motives and about why she did it, and it's all going to be speculation. Anybody that gives you any type of answers is speculation. But what I can tell you is based on what was said in that press conference, what was said in that press conference leads me to believe that she gave them clear and certain descriptive events that took place for the charges to be brought forward on her. And the district attorney brings those charges and they make the decision, not the detectives, not the feds. The district attorney says, this is what we got. The investigators tell the district attorney, this is what we have. And then they make the decision based on what you have, on what they charge. And by them charging what they charged, she had to have confessed to his demise. And I'm telling you that this is someone who has been in law enforcement for 20 years. Okay, is there a remote chance that she didn't confess to it? Yeah. But I highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. You know, I could be wrong. I think that when she returns to Colorado Springs, which will be in the next day, probably tomorrow she should be back over there. She will probably lead them to where she disposed of his body. And then the recovery will begin. Or they're already there at the location and they're not giving it to anybody. They may even have recovered his body and out of respect to the family is not putting it out there. So we can all speculate, but I'm not here to speculate. All right. So, at the end of the day, could the daughter have confessed? Yeah, sure. But I doubt it. If the daughter confessed to the crime against her mom, it takes a little bit more than someone's word. Because I could call them and say, hey, Letitia told me that she killed Gannon. They're not going to make a murder FOA, murder first degree FOA based on what I said. You know what I mean? It's coming from a secondary person, although it's the daughter. I don't buy into that. But again, it's possible. It's possible. Anyway, so let me just pull up the Twitter. This is a girl. I don't even know who this is. Ashley Franco. I think she's from KKTV. Her Twitter shows breaking news 4 hours ago. We have confirmed Letitia Stouch is in Saline County Jail, according to their website. That is in Kansas. Yes. No word on why she is there instead of on her way back. Well, Ashley, you're silly by saying that. She's there because you can't drive from South Carolina to Colorado in one day. You got to stop. You got to stop and get some sleep. So I've gone to Virginia from New York in a rental car and driven perpetrators back from Virginia to New York. So, yeah, I mean, these outside agencies, like I said, the smaller agencies, they don't have a budget to put 3 or 4 detectives on an airplane and fly back the perpetrators. They put them in a car and they tell them to drive. So that was 4 hours ago. We've confirmed that she is in Saline County Jail, according to their website. That's in Kansas. No word of why she's there instead of back on her way back. And that's a dumb reporter right there. I mean, come on. Are you kidding me? So Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you. I loved how Tori Hartman said, I don't know whether to call you Stefani or Stephanie, but I call you Stephanie. I've called you Stefani once before. But yeah, let's put some blue hearts and some prayer emojis in the chat out of respect for Gannon and his family. They're going through a lot. We saw the heartbreak his mother put up at that presser. I mean, what a brave, strong woman. She put up, I mean, that was strength from her within, from her son. I was impressed with how she held herself up, you know? So, yeah, not an easy thing. Thank you for those prayer emojis and the blue hearts. Stand against child abuse. We got to stand against child abuse. And if you see something, say something. If something doesn't look right, you got to speak out. You got to report. You know, we're living in a different day and age. And look at those blue hearts going up in the screen. Thank you, everybody. Susan, Katrina, Mary Swampy, Tammy. Thank you, Lori, Snow Remover. Guys, we're going to all have different opinions on what we think happened, right? Yeah, I got to switch it up, Joey Brooklyn. I got to switch it up. Joey Brooklyn is the director, my head of security. He's here in the house. Thank you to Joey Brooklyn. Everybody subscribe to Joey Brooklyn's channel. Everybody subscribe to also Katrina Katresh. She's a great friend of mine. And she is a sweet, sweet person. Anything she does comes from the heart. So definitely check her out. Thank you for all the prayer emojis. Ralph's Trucking is here. Honk, honk. Ralph's Trucking in the building. Thanks for joining, Ralph. Too many cases of child abuse. I agree, guys. I agree. So again, what I was saying is we're all going to have different opinions and we're all going to have different thoughts. What I'm giving you is my professional opinion on what I've seen in the past. It's okay, Darlene, better late than never. So don't say, well, DutyRon said this and it didn't happen. I'm just telling you what I feel from my perspective and from what I've seen happen over my years of dealing with many, many different criminal cases. You know, I've dealt with the FBI and worked hand in hand with the Secret Service, the State Department, the U.S. Marshals. You know, anytime we went out of state and brought someone across state lines, we traveled with a U.S. Marshal. So the Colorado Springs and the El Paso County Sheriffs, when they came to South Carolina, they had to have U.S. Marshals with them. Because when you're bringing a prisoner across state lines, the U.S. Marshals have to come with you. And they're not sitting there babysitting them, but they have to be there to supervise it. You know, the federal authorities get involved. When you cross state lines, it's a federal crime after committing a felony. So if you commit a felony and leave your state to flee charges, it becomes a federal crime and the feds get involved. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. I'm sure some of you are, but now you all are aware of that. You know, so if I went to the state of Pennsylvania as a New York City police officer and I was going to retrieve one of my criminals who committed a felony in New York and he crossed those state lines, we had to get the U.S. Marshals on board. And that's how it goes. So I just got a news alert coming across about some kind of bombing. What was that? U.S. Shit. Where did it go? Huh. It was just, let me see if anything's on Twitter. I always go to Twitter and see. I hate when that happens. When a thing comes across, it said U.S. bombed something. Anybody have that? I don't know. I'll look at it when I get off of here. It just popped up on my phone, but then it just disappeared. Shit. I got so many notifications. It's buried somewhere here in my phone. I'm still looking. No, I don't see it. Anyways, so that's it. Guys, I think we covered it all. It's getting late. I got to go to bed. It's time for work. I got to get up in the morning. So if you guys don't have any more questions, if you're not subscribed to my channel, here it is right here, all one word, DutyRon. Here's the U Police sign made for me by Matt Sully. One of my Periscope broadcasts on YouTube, on Twitter. One of my Russian friends came in and he kept typing, "You police," like in capital letters in one of my streams. So the U Police came from sort of like a troll from another country. We think he was from Russia, but he kept saying to me, "You police," just like this, capital letters. And this stuck with me. This is over about 2 years ago. This happened. So this "You police" thing came from a troll from Russia. And U.S. bombed Taliban. The U.S. bombed the Taliban. Where? In what country was that? In Afghanistan? Anyways, so subscribe to the channel here, all one word, DutyRon. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Periscope, all one word, DutyRon. And definitely hit the subscribe button. If you can, please give a thumbs up on the video. Share it out onto your social media. And if anything new comes up or develops on this case, but for now, I'm going to try to pump the brakes on the videos about this because there's really nothing more to speak about. They won't transfer her. She's going to stay in prison. She'll stay in that jail until the morning. She'll be lodged overnight. Afghanistan bomb attack kills 3 as Taliban ends partial truce. Okay. All right. Gotcha. Thank you, Dylan. I know I could always count on you for breaking news. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Dylan. Dylan's from the great state of Texas, Round Rock to be exact. So I'll take a couple of questions. I see there's questions. Would they have told her not to leave Colorado? You know, I don't know if they told her that, but I don't think so. I think she left. She gave that interview on the 31st, and she left probably shortly thereafter. She probably left right after that interview that she gave, the one that we played the other day, where she was speaking about him in the past tense, like he was a good kid. He was a pleasure to be around. She was kept referring to him in the past, and she realized probably that after the fact and then took off. But, so she left. The affidavit's sealed, yes. And that's for the safety of the case. They don't want to jeopardize the case. Thank you for subscribing to Dylan. He's a good man. I did, Rhonda. I did that. I thank you for that tip, but I did it and it was gone. It was gone. It like came up and it was like one of those notifications where you got to tap on it to get it. So yeah, fake crying and all that stuff. But does anybody have any questions about the process? So quickly, I know I was just closing, but the process is as follows. She's going to go into Colorado Springs and get booked in on a new arraignment, a new charges. She's going to get booked in on the murder, the unlawful disposal of a human body, all those different charges that they went over. She'll get booked and arraigned. She'll plead not guilty or guilty. And then if she pleads not guilty, there'll be a grand jury. She'll get indicted on the charges. The indictment is like a true bill. Basically, the indictment is that the grand jury saw enough evidence to charge her with the murder first degree. So the process, when you get arrested, you get an arraignment. The arraignment judge just tells you, hey, you've been arrested for these charges. How do you want to plea? guilty or not guilty. And she, she's going to say not guilty more than likely. And then after that, they will take the case and present it before a grand jury. And when the grand jury gives the indictment, which is a true bill, then the person is officially charged with those charges. And then there's a trial date set, jury selection, and then it goes from there. So this could take months, or it could be really fast. So that's what we're looking at. And all of this convo about ring videos and processing the crime scene at the house. Don't forget, they took all of her computers, laptops, iPads, cell phone, any electronic devices from within that house, and any evidence that they could collect within that house. But remember, the crime didn't occur inside that house, as far as we know. Like some people are saying, well, she killed him or drugged him inside the house or did this and did that. Nobody knows. Nobody was in that house, so nobody knows. But we will find out when the case unfolds. So all of this convo about what happened, what did she do in the truck? She definitely took him out in the truck. And did she return with him or without him? I mean, all of this, you can just knock your head against the wall and it's not going to get you anywhere. So that's my advice for you, is to focus on the current and don't focus on possibilities and what ifs and this is what I think. Let's try to recover his body and bring him back for his mom and dad and for the family so they can give a proper burial and pay respects. He's already with the Lord. His soul is with God, as far as I'm concerned, under my Catholic law, Catholic religion. Under the law, we want to bring justice. That's the next step, is to get justice for Gannon. Let's get the justice, and let's not try to speculate on theories and things of that nature. Let's bring him home. Great thing. Sweet Crazy said, bring that beautiful baby home. I love it. Amen to that. Amen to that, my sister. Amen. Frankendoll, thank you for joining. Stephanie, thank you. Thank you. All right, guys, much love and respect from my house to yours. Thank you to all the new channel members, the super chatters, my Patreon supporters, the people who leave positive comments in the chat, in the comment section, the shares, the likes, the love. Thank you for that, because I know there's so many other choices out there. So it's an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to have each and every one of you here, because this community, this DutyRon family, is not a family without people like you. So it's you guys that make this great. You guys are awesome. So thank you for everything you guys do behind the scenes, in the scenes, and after the scenes. I'll talk to you guys all soon. Stay safe, stay vigilant, hug your loved ones, cherish the moments that we have here, because nothing is guaranteed. This life that we have, none of it's guaranteed. Here today, gone tomorrow is a very true statement. I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Thank you for joining.